Good morning, everyone. It's October the 9th, and we had a real good rain yesterday evening from the storm coming up off the Gulf, which most of it missed me, but we had one band of showers that came through, and uh, the last I looked yesterday evening, I think I got a little more overnight, but it was 85 hundredths is what I was reading yesterday evening, and had some really strong winds. I've had to stand things back up that the wind had blowed over so I could water this morning. If it hadn't blowed them over, I might have got away with not watering this morning. Got good crop of peppers coming back on my bales, and they keep getting blowed over and get top heavy. Mexican petunias are doing well, and the red over there is some of the pineapple sage. I've been cutting the stevia back. I have it all over. I'm using it, drying it in the house, and I use it with my coffee. Have a number of new hibiscus in here that are doing rather well, that are supposed to be able to withstand the cold, but right now I'm planning on trying to keep them in the greenhouse. My kratom, I think they're doing very well. None of it's had the care that it really should. Had a rabbit that's been eating on the sweet potatoes, but I'm saving those for draws for next year, and I hope I still have plans for next year. So these are the mango trees, and an avocado that's head high, so it's doing real well. My pencil cactus, I'd picked these goji berries yesterday morning for breakfast. And these are the tea hibiscus. They have been blown over I don't know how many times now, and so they're all twisted up and growing all kind of crazy ways, but you can start seeing the buds on them. So I'm looking forward to my first pot of fresh hibiscus tea. My sage, it's living, but it just hasn't done a whole lot. And that turmeric there was the one that, like I said a couple of months ago, I took apart and gave a lady some turmeric, and she didn't want it all because she was moving, and I repotted it, and boy, it just stimulated the root, and it has took off and grow. My ginger, I walk around there, is some of them are starting to flower, and the turmeric, one of the things, I'm pretty sure I saw that it flowered. And this is, to me, kind of unusual on the crown of thorns, that got a flower on a flower. There's several of them that have done that. And that's one that has crossed the yellow or gold and the red crossed. And all this had got turned over in the storm. Move back around here to the ginger, and this is one pot that was one I'd taken apart and given the lady some, and it's come back pretty well. The lemongrass has taken off and has got roots all down here where it's trying to root through my landscape fabric. I normally put old bags and things down under the pots to keep that from happening, but I never got around to doing it on those. And this turmeric down here, like I said, I have several varieties, and the one that's up 4 foot or more tall, and then this one, they were planted the same day, and these are just now starting to try to take off and grow a little bit. But this was what I'm so tickled about, was the ginger and the flower pods. This one here has got them way up high, And the one next to it, there are a lot of them. And so far I haven't seen a flower, but whenever I do, I'll sure make a video of that too. But that's one of the things I love, the ginger and the turmeric. I'd use way more ginger than I do turmeric. And lemongrass. I've been having to set the jackfruit trees back up. Almost a daily issue now. They still in just 3-gallon pots, these 3 over here. And that one, I'm pretty sure it's just going, I really need to find somebody that will take it. I think it's going to be too big to go in the greenhouse before long. I have these 2, and I have a small one that I repotted into the biggest pot, and it's doing the worst. And I think the soil's too heavy. I didn't put enough perlite in it. Had a few mulberries still on the bushes, and the goji berries in there are doing pretty good. 1 or 2, I've lost one variety again, I believe. The flowers all over the dirt, that's from the moringa. I ate a bunch of them that were on the dirt when I walked out after the storm yesterday evening. And got a few little beans on the tree. I really enjoyed the ones that I harvested and cooked the other day, the drumsticks, and found them very unusual, but they were just blanched the way around here you do boiled peanuts, just water in a brine solution. See if I can get a shot there of a whole cluster of the beans. I hope those will make it to maturity before we have a killing frost. This is, like I said, the 2nd year I've planted one of the hibiscus here, and it has just really done well. The papayas are just bearing to beat the bush, and the 2 here have been bad about turning over, and they've been broke, but they got little ones all over them, and I did take the other day and put some strapping on them and kind of fasten them up, and fortunately they're one of the things that didn't get turned over yesterday. And this is the biggest one so far. Get up here where I can get a good comparison. And anyway, I'm tickled. Like I say, I sure hope that I get one of those that will be ripe. And in some of the reading I've done over the past weekend, see, they're up over my awning, and I think the awning is about the same height as the greenhouse. And so I may try to pick out 1 or 2 pots and cut the tops out and see if I can move them in and maybe be able to save a few fruits till maturity. My figs are still doing fair, except between the bees and the fruit flies and all that, they ain't hardly fit to eat now. My goji berries all in the fence here have had quite a few on them. And I'm estimating the height of these moringa at around 20 foot. And I used a 6-foot step ladder the other day to pick the seed pods. That one, as I've said previously, I'm letting mature. I want to see if if the seeds are viable. And anyway, it's just an experiment, but I have loads of young seed coming on, and I've enjoyed the flowers off of it immensely, as much as I do anything else with moringa. It's just been something I've really enjoyed this year. These were planted in the dirt here, and there's a good shot of the seed pods. And I have some out there in the garden. I have one. There's some wild sweet potatoes and the garlic should come back this year, and I'm hoping that I'll finish up another bed and plant another bed of the garlic. And I don't know why, because can't use all that I grow now. Still have a few blooms on the cannas, and a few figs on some of the others, and there's some blooms out there on the pear tree. But you can see here a good example of the fruit flies and the bees getting into the figs, and that's just a natural phenomenon for me anymore, it seems like. Have all kind of mushrooms coming up from the storm, and it had gotten real dry. We hadn't had any rain since the 11th of last month when the storm came through, and so it surprised me that we were getting all the mushrooms that we were. But they're fixing to be gone, because that's my project for today. I'm picking up a few more limbs and then go ride the mower the rest of the day. Blessings all.